Hello, welcome to Autistic Tea. I'm autistic, I drink tea, and I talk about things. And this is the series on my channel that I just started called Autistic and Pregnant. I'm not pregnant yet. Today I'd like to talk about lifestyle changes. What am I doing differently now that I'm trying to get pregnant? And what are me and my partner doing differently now that we are trying to conceive? Aside from the obvious. It is a bit weird. I have to admit, it is a bit odd when you tell people, oh, we're trying to have kids because there's the unspoken. The unspoken. It's weird. It is odd. And our first week we slept in separate beds because my partner is a doctor and he had casual contact with a COVID positive patient. So in order to reduce the chances of me catching it if he had caught it, which thankfully he did not, we slept in separate beds. Thankfully, we have a spare bedroom with a spare bed with an electric blanket. It was very comfortable for me to sleep in there. And we couldn't give each other like kisses and cuddles. We're like blowing kisses, and every time we'd like go in because we forgot, we had to like dodge at the last second. So I messaged my best friend like, baby making off to a great start, and they were like, what do you want to know? What do you want to know? Realized that sarcasm doesn't really come across in text. I had to clarify that actually, no, baby making had simply not happened because the first week post Marina, we were not allowed to touch. So, other than the obvious, what am I doing to improve my chances of conceiving or making sure that when I conceive, my cat is knocking the chair upon which I film. Darling, could you not? What am I doing to make sure that when I conceive, the baby is as healthy as possible? And so there are a few things that I am doing. Number one is I am taking supplements. I was already taking a women's multivitamin because of like the IBS and stuff. I just don't feel that I get enough nutrients from my food. Without it, I feel even more exhausted than I already feel. And I find that that's helpful. Hi there, baby. Moonpie has come to help. He's going to leave probably. I have to adjust my chair. Very professional setup. Very, very good. Very professional. Wibbly wobbly, wibbly wobbly, wibbly wobbly. Don't do it. Don't do it. Be gone. Demon. Right, where was I? Supplements. I am taking supplements. So I was already taking a women's multivitamin that you can just buy off the shelf at your local supermarket. But I am also taking this also was a mistake. Oh no, that's gonna fall over. Oh, okay, just hold it. Just hold it. This is what you get for trying to be fancy. Taking prescription drugs. This one is folic acid, and this one is potassium iodate. And those were prescribed by my doctor. I've been taking them since last year, well before even trying to conceive, because apparently that's really good. You really want to be on your folic acid for as long as possible, like as soon as, basically. I think that reduces chances of like some birth congenital defects such as spina bifida. And I think it also helps with pregnancy and stuff. So the folic acid no, the potassium iodate I take through pregnancy and breastfeeding, and the folic acid I take until about 3 months, unless I'm having twins, which fingers crossed I don't. But my darling mother, who is a witch, keeps saying, "Oh, I feel like you're gonna have twins. I feel like you're gonna have twins." And like, shh, do not speak it into existence, dear darling mother. Darling mother, don't speak it into existence. And I've also told grandma not to speak it into existence either, because twins do run in our family. I think there are 2 sets on grandma's side, actually. She had at least like 2 of her older brothers were twins. Um, so, so that's not really a big difference. I already take pills in the morning. I take my multivitamin. I take my hay fever tablet, which I have to take 9 months out of the year. It is only winter when I am free from hay fever. And I take my antidepressants. So I just added 2 more supplements to my daily pill taking. Speaking of my antidepressant, I did go talk to my doctor because I was concerned. I wanted to know if there was going to be any impact on, you know, stop attacking the mattress. It was expensive. So I went to my doctor to talk about my antidepressant because I was concerned that it might have an impact on fetal development. And I wanted to know if I would need to come off it, in which case I would have to start coming off it, last year, because it has a really, really short half-life. I basically, if I forget to take it one morning, the next morning I'm basically in withdrawal. So it's really short, and I wanted to make sure that we could have a really slow progress coming off it. But thankfully, my doctor said that I could stay on it. There is a slight increased chance of what is called spontaneous abortion, which is just the medical term for miscarriage, from what I understand. And knowing that, I talked to my partner. Obviously, he's a GP, so he kind of already knew that. And we've come, we understand that is a risk, but the risk to my physical health, my mental health from coming off my antidepressants is much higher. And the best chance, my doctor said, the best chance of you having a healthy pregnancy is that you are happy and healthy. So as long as you are happy and healthy, you're going to have basically a happy and healthy pregnancy. Generally, like that's the best contributing factor out of all of them. And that was really comforting, and it's really nice to have a doctor who does maintain that. So that's what I am focusing on. I am focusing on me being happy and healthy, so that when I am pregnant, I'm in the best space I can be, and generally that will be the best space that can be for fetal development. So speaking of me being happy and healthy, there is something that I am doing which has been, it's really hard. This is really hard, and I'm doing it for my overall health, but I'm mainly doing it now because I want to have baby and I want to be healthy while I have baby. And hopefully by the time baby comes around, it will be a habit, but it is rough. I am exercising every day. So those who know me will know that I'm not a very physically active person. I used to be, actually. I used to be quite physically active. Like not nearly as much as my peers, but like I would bike to school, I would walk to school every day. University, I would walk to university every day. When I started working part-time, I would bike or I would walk to work every day. There was a period of time where I was biking to work, busing to another job, doing that physically demanding job, and then like busing home and then having to walk home part of the way. That was a nightmare, and I did that for like a week or two with tonsillitis? No, laryngitis? Laryngitis, possibly. It was a throat thing. The doctor looked in my mouth and she went, ugh. Which things are bad when they lose their doctor demeanor and they're like, ooh, my, ugh. Not as bad as when they're like, ooh, that's interesting. But it's still pretty bad if a doctor goes. So I used to be pretty physically active, but once my physical health started to go downhill, and my depression got worse. My physical activity really went down. And so for the past 2 years, I've not really been very physically active. Going for runs stopped. Going walking places has really stopped because my partner drives me most places, so that's really helpful. But I also, because I just could not. My anxiety was so bad at one point I couldn't leave the house without having a panic attack. So like I would try to walk places, but I'd have to go back inside because I felt like I was going to pass out. And physically, sometimes it's like I am too tired to move. I am too tired to walk. I am in too much pain to move. I am in too much pain to walk. So, and I can't drive because of the anxiety. So it's been a bit of a rough time, but my mental health has hugely improved because I focused on it last year, and my physical health has improved because of the Marina. We're a bit iffy on things with the endo now that the Marina is out, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I was told that my first few periods will be irregular, and so I'll just have to see how it goes. But while I can, on days that I can, I am trying to exercise more. I'm trying to do at least 30 minutes a day of activity in total. So that's a half an hour walk if I can, if it's a beautiful day and I'm feeling up to it. And what's really helpful is you can just look up exercise videos on YouTube. And so I've been doing like dance videos at home and doing like stretches and yoga or any sort of like workout things that don't require equipment in my home. And I also count like housework is a physical activity. So hoovering, if that takes 15 to 20 minutes to do my whole house, doing a really good job, that's quite a vigorous physical activity. So I can count that as well. So it's not like I've been totally like couch bound. I've been doing housework this whole time, but it is nice to build that up and just get that fitness up a little bit more. It will be really worth it when I am pregnant, and it'll be really helpful when I am giving birth to have, you know, muscles and all this jazz built up. And also it's just good for my general overall health because I have been not as active and I don't have that much muscle and I don't have that much fitness. I get puffed out really fast, and I would like to be able to do more now that I physically can. I'm building back up those muscles, and that's nice. Also, it's because I am currently overweight for my size. I don't feel overweight, and when I look in the mirror, I don't really see it, but I know I am because I'm very short. I swear I used to be taller. I've lost centimeters. That doesn't seem fair. But I'm 160 centimeters exactly. It's nice to have a round number, I suppose. But I mean, I'm 28 years old and I had to wait for my mother to get old enough to start shrinking before I could be taller than her. I am taller than her though. Ha. Now that she's old and shrunken. So I would also like to get into my optimal weight range because that will also help with conception. And it's not a fat phobic negative thing. It's not a body negative thing. I love my body. I'm generally very positive about my body. I mean, look at this. Look at this. That's nice. I think that's okay. I've got a belly. I've got a bit of a puku. Bit of a puku. Excuse my alpha male underwear. Got a bit of a belly there, but that's all right. That's storage. That's food storage. I also have to kind of let go of having like a flat stomach and stuff because I bloat from my IBS. It expands. I bloat from my endometriosis, from my period. So like my belly like very wildly fluctuates in size. There are some times when it's like, oh, that's really big. And other times it's like, oh, there it is. Like wildly, and very rarely has much to do with me and what I'm doing, and it's more sort of an internal process. So being too caught up on what it like on how flat my stomach is, it would be a nightmare. So that's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it to get into an optimal weight range, to be healthier, to be so that I can, walk up the 10 minutes to my bus stop without being completely puffed out. That's a bit much in terms of unfitness. I want to be more fit. And so when I have a baby, I can also keep up with them. I want to keep up that fitness, especially once they start walking and running around. You want to be able to keep up with your child and not be totally puffed out if you can. I mean, on days when I am in pain, on days when I have that fatigue, there's nothing I can do about it, and feeling guilty about it is not going to help. Like, that's just putting more pressure on me for stuff I can't control. So yeah, so I don't want anyone to think that this is a like, oh, I'm too fat to conceive. That's not true. I could definitely conceive. In fact, I think previous to before I started putting on weight, so around 22 I started to put on weight. Before then I couldn't get past 55 kg. I just couldn't. And even being at 55 kg was like a concerted effort. I had to maintain that. I could drop to 50, I could drop to 45 if I got sick really easily. And that was just, again, that's just a normal body type. That's just what my body was doing. But it was probably not the optimal weight for pregnancy, which was also not the optimal time for me to get pregnant either. So, it all works out. Around 22, I started to put weight on, and I was around a very optimal weight for a while. And then I got depressed because I was in an abusive relationship, and then my physical health went downhill, and I comfort eat when I'm sad. I comfort eat. I think my whole family does, actually. I think definitely the women in my family comfort eat when we're sad, and it's something we do together. And I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with eating of food to nourish your body, particularly when you're in a down state. But I think the amount you eat and what you choose to eat can negatively impact over a long period of time. So that's something I'm trying to work on as well. Is like, I'm feeling sad, so maybe what I want to do is feed my body. Maybe my body does need feeding, but I can nourish it with something a little bit more substantial than biscuits and ice cream. There's nothing wrong with eating biscuits and ice cream, but maybe instead of just eating biscuits and ice cream, I can also eat like mashed potato or tuna salad, or a mince burger that I made, and then eat some biscuits. Like, the biscuits are still involved, there's just not a whole packet of them. So that's something that's also another lifestyle change that we are making. My partner came home the other day and he made an announcement. He said, I've decided that it's 1 packet of chips each per week. And I was like, yeah, it's probably for the best, but oh my gosh. He buys the groceries because I cannot stand being inside grocery stores. I will often go with him for solidarity, depending on where we are in terms of COVID cases, because obviously sometimes it's better to just send one person into the supermarket, and sometimes I'm tired, and sometimes I'm busy, and sometimes I just don't want to, because supermarkets are evil, and he likes going grocery shopping. That's weird to me. But that's why we work so well as a couple, right? Because he likes to go grocery shopping and he doesn't mind hoovering. And I hate grocery shopping and I hate hoovering, but I like cooking and I like doing the dishes. So I'll do those while he does the things I don't like doing. Hooray. He also likes cooking, so hooray. So we are both, that's something we're both doing, because he's actually quite physically active already. We're both reducing the amount of snack foods we're eating, and like, sometimes you just eat snacks because you're bored. You're not actually hungry. But if you are hungry, you can nourish your body with something more filling and more healthsome, like fruit and nuts, and maybe more dinner. Like, I'm trying to actually eat more dinner so that I don't get hungry so soon for snacks. But I do have an issue of getting hungry around 8:30, generally, no matter how much I eat. So I have to eat something there, but I'm trying to make it like fruit or nuts or just one muffin, and drink a lot of water and then see where I'm at. And if I'm still hungry before I go to bed, I'll have a slice of toast because I cannot sleep while hungry. It makes me want to throw up. So that's something that we are both doing because that also helps his fertility as well as my fertility, helps us both with conception because this is a two-person job. It's not just me, it's not just him. We're in this together, we're doing this together, so we're both making lifestyle changes. So that is something that we are doing. We are reducing our snacks, which is overall a healthier choice. It's like we're doing this for conception, but overall it is a healthier choice, and it is something that I would like to continue through my parenthood and through the rest of my life. Obviously, I'm getting older. I can't really get away with eating 3 packets of Doritos at a day, like what I sustained myself on when I was studying for exams in my first year of university. Like, I could do it then, but I can't do it now. So yeah, it's just so those are a few lifestyle changes that we are making as a couple, and I am making as the conceiving person, the pregnant person to be, to help us with conception. They're small changes that we've made. They're not major. They're nothing too stressful. And most of it is stuff I would do anyway, this is stuff I should do anyway, but I've just sort of got a kick in the pants because I want to have a baby, So that's what I wanted to share. If you have any questions about any other lifestyle changes you think I might have forgotten to mention, or you heard about doing, or you tried, or things like that, please no unsolicited advice. I should probably bring this up in a video, but I have a primary care physician. I have a GP as a partner. I am well taken care of in terms of all that health management stuff. So please no unsolicited advice. But if you are in a similar trying to conceive boat, then I'd love for you to share your experience. And if you have any questions, just out of curiosity, please politely leave them in the comments box below. Thank you, and I hope to see you in the next video.